Title: Eye of the Storm by Okeresh Azubuike. Chapter 5: The Forging of Blades and Wills. The unsettling encounter with the Shadow Walker hung over Umuaka like a malevolent mist. It confirmed Dibia Nwokedi's deepest fears and Mazi Ikeobi's silent dread. The abstract warning had become a tangible threat. The simple, sheltered life Imezi and Kezie had known was over. The decision was made in the hushed confines of Ikeobi's Obi, with only the Dibia, Ikeobi, and Obieze present. Firm. They cannot be caged, Dibia Nwokedi stated, his voice firm despite its age. A bird kept in a basket will not know how to flee the hawk. Their protection lies not in hiding, but in strength. They must be forged into the weapons they were born to be. And so the training began. It started not with swords, but with the mind. Dibia Nwokedi became their first teacher. He taught them the art of Ime-Obi, the focusing of the will. They would sit for hours, learning to still the chatter of their minds, to feel the life force in the soil beneath them, the sap in the trees, the very breath of the wind. He taught them to distinguish between the natural energy of the world and the cold, hollow resonance of the Shadow Walkers. Their power is a void, the Dibia would say, his eyes closed in concentration. It does not create, it consumes. You must feel that hunger in the air before you see it with your eyes. Next came the body. Ikeobi, a renowned wrestler in his youth, took charge. He drilled them in the art of Mgba, traditional wrestling. The compound yard became their arena, the red earth their witness. Imezi, though smaller, was agile and clever, learning to use an opponent's strength against them. Kezie was more methodical, with a resilience that surprised even Ikeobi. They learned to fall, to roll, to absorb impact. They learned to endure pain, to push past the burning in their muscles and the gasping plea of their lungs. Pain is a messenger, Ikeobi would grunt, as Kezie struggled to break free from a hold. Do not fear the message. Listen to it, learn from it, and then tell it you are still standing. Obieze, whose golden voice could soothe or stir, taught them a different kind of control, the power of sound and story. She taught them the ancient praise songs and dirges, explaining that some melodies held power, could mend a fractured spirit, or reveal a hidden truth. She taught Imezi how to project her voice, not just to sing, but to command attention, to break a spell, to be a beacon in the dark. Months turned into years. The playful children were being honed into disciplined, formidable young adults. Imezi at 16 was a vision of fierce grace. Her movements fluid yet precise, her gaze holding a wisdom that belied her years. Kezie had grown broad-shouldered and quiet, his once secretive smile now replaced by a watchful calm. Their bond, forged in shared mystery and now tempered in shared struggle, was as unbreakable as the river stone Imezi still carried. The final part of their training was the blade. A traveling blacksmith from the Igala kingdom, indebted to Ikeobi, was commissioned. Under his stern tutelage, they learned the way of the short sword and the spear. Imezi favored a light, double-edged blade, its hilt carved with the pattern of a twisting vine. Kezie chose a broader, single-edged sword, a tool of decisive power. They were no longer just a girl who sensed storms and a boy who remembered deserts. They were becoming warriors. The peace of Umuaka could no longer contain what they were destined to become. The wider world, with all its perils and wonders, was calling.
In the days that followed, the traders prepared to leave Umuaka, their carts piled high with cloth, spices, and salt. Imezi's father forbade her from going, but her heart was already far beyond the village gates. When the caravan began its slow crawl at dawn, a small figure slipped from behind the udu tree. Imezi, her mother's pendant around her neck. At the edge of the group, Kezie was waiting with his calabash slung over his shoulder, grinning. "You really thought I'd let you get lost alone," he said. She smiled. "You're late." And together, they stepped onto the red road that led out of Umuaka. Two children, carrying the seeds of eternity, their laughter fading into the morning mist. Somewhere behind them, the Dibia watched the rising dust and whispered to the wind, "Guard them, spirits of the old ways. The world will test their light, and deep in the shadows of the forest, unseen eyes watch them go, waiting, smiling." The storm had found its second wind.